Hello, everybody. Good morning. I may not look like it's morning, but that's because I'm playing dress up for the readathon. That's right. We're here for the last final May of the Moderns readathon reading sprint. So I'm giving you flapper morning after vibes. Don't worry. I slept in this morning. This is all costuming. So thank your costume department. Good morning, everybody. Say hi to people in the chat, which is Mama Maggie, Penumbra Mine, hello. Emmy North, hello. Like to see that the mice illustrations are done. Laura Pink saying hello, good morning, and welcome. This is my explanation / teaser trailer. Cool Gamers here saying hello. Hello, everybody. I've just made my cup of tea and I'm ready to do some sprinting. I have finished all my prompts. If you go on Storygraph, wait. Ow! Okay, it's still morning. We're still waking up. So welcome to the sprint. What was I just going to say about Storygraph, that's right. Storygraph challenge. There's the link. Okay, so I have finished all my prompts, but I still have a buddy read to do with Beth Ann, Bruninga Sokolar, and SD Houston. And we will be chatting about that book on Tuesday. I'll be putting up that event shortly, but Not Without Laughter by Langston Hughes. So that's going to be my main squeeze, my main read today. But actually, I've completed all the prompts on Storygraph. So I don't know. Tell me if you know. If you can see if other people have completed the prompts, because I was going to do a giveaway based on how many prompts people completed. Like if they did 3 out of 5, they would be entered. But I can't see other people's completion statistics. So I'm not sure how I'm supposed to evaluate that. So if you've got any advice on that, let me know. I'll be thinking through it during our sprints, I'm sure. Katie's here. Katie reads and rants. You look lovely. Thank you. Inga York, hello. The hat is very cute. Thank you. This is like 2 for 2 days that I've gone to pick up this wool felt hat from the hook, and I find a moth on it because the wool attracts the freaking clothes moths, and I cannot get them out of my house. Shannon is here. I just mentioned Shannon, so she walked in the door. Excellent timing. So yes, we're excited. Are we done? Is anyone else done with the 5 prompts of the readathon challenge? I tried to keep it pretty simple, but my booktubers did give me some pretty diverse prompts. So if you've got 3 out of 5, tell me and I will enter you to win. So that's what we're doing today. Finishing up our last reading sprint for the month. And what are you going to be picking up today? So let me know in the comments. I've got my timer that I used yesterday that I really like. I put it a little later so we can see different flowers. This is from Jacqueline Kirk. And she has a 20-minute sprint timer with a 5-minute break. And I thought, oh, that seems pretty professional. Maybe I'll do that. So she's great. Let's see. Other mechanics. I wanted to do a giveaway during the reading sprints because, I don't know, you guys show up and I feel like I've met a bunch of new people. So it's been really fun to see you guys and see your comments and see you reading along or getting stuff done productivity-wise. So I'll offer up one of the prizes at the end of the reading sprint. And just to recap, the prizes are the bookish package that I send, the gift certificate, especially if you're from a different country and the shipping is going to be prohibitively expensive, and the Persephone book of your choice from Persephone in Bath, UK, because they are one of the prompt inspired people and one of the people that inspired the whole readathon. So those are my 3 prizes. So we'll do one today and have a person choose which one they want. But how we're going to do that, it's not going to be based on who completed the prompts. I think it's just going to be based on who's been in the reading sprints. I've taken all y'all's names, put them in a spreadsheet, and I just do a randomizer name based on how many numbers. So that should be fun. Um, what you reading? Oh, and then the last thing I wanted to remind everybody is that, so this is the last reading sprint. We have one more Sunday, which means one more themed Sunday chat. And this time it's my prompt, and so I don't have a guest. I would have liked to invite someone for the translating prompt because I am not a translator, but I thought of it too late. So I didn't want to put that stress on anyone else. So I will be chatting about some research that I've done on translated works, how we evaluate translated literature, and what that might say, and how it might relate to the other prompts for May of the Moderns, which is leading me down a fascinating rabbit hole, as you might imagine. So I will be reading Langston Hughes for the first sprint, and then I think I'll do some more research on the translation stuff for the second sprint. But yeah, tell me what you're reading. Oh, Shannon is working on some official announcement sending for those chosen for the AWC. So not yet reading, but it's on the list of things to do today. Excellent. Yes, let me drop the link for the timer. I think it's on my watch later list. Hold on. Let me get the actual direct link. Copy. And StreamYard tab. And Jacqueline Kirk's timer. Here we go. And oh, Katie says, I'm getting through some of my NetGalley reads today, currently working on The Ruins by Phoebe Wynne. Interesting. That sounds good. It sounds like it's going to have some like gothic font on the cover. Maggie says, I'm so sick of YouTube not starting the streams on time. I don't know. Not starting the streams on time. I'm not sure what that refers to, Maggie. Jenna says, going to be quiet. Yeah, Jenna, I hope you feel better. Hit the like button. Need to take care of my health at the moment. And that is what Shannon asked for, the timer link in the chat. Alrighty then. So let's take this down. Let's put up my first question here, and we'll be sprinting, and you'll be able to see it on the timer, so I don't have to put that banner up. What has been the best thing about May of the Moderns for you? So I put a poll yesterday, but I thought I'd be more informal this time. Just tell me the thing that you like most about the readathon this month, however you participated. Maybe you only used one thing, and then you could say that one thing. All right, so let me start our timer off, and I will be muting myself for 20 minutes. Happy sprinting, everybody. Hope that didn't scare anybody. Let me find this and pause it, since I go a little longer than our scheduled breaks. So we had some people join us while we were sprinting on our first sprint. How'd we do, everybody? Feel free to weigh in on question number 1 while it's still up here, or tell us how you're doing reading or sending emails, Shannon. If you have just joined us, don't forget this Sunday at 11 a.m. Pacific is our last themed Sunday chat. I'll be talking about the 5th prompt of The Other and talking about translated literature, doing some shout outs to my translator friends on BookTube, so that should be fun. And, if you enjoy the readathon stuff and historical novels and finding stuff about other time periods, I've got books. I've got books, ladies and gentlemen. I've got 5 books, 19th century historical fiction, 3 different flavors. So check them out in the description. So who came in? We had Jim's Books Reading and Stuff pop by, mention my hat. Thank you. It is vintage inspired. This is not one of the old costumes that I found. Inka York is reading Severed, A History of Heads Lost and Heads Found. Such charming weekend reading. That does sound like a fun read because I love nonfiction that is a grouping of odd things, heads lost and heads found. Sounds fun. Am I reading anything like that right now? I'm reading Shepherd's Life. Oh, I'm reading Botanical Curses and Poisons on audio. And that's an interesting one. I'm starting to go through the A through Z. I'm still on A of plants that have medicinal uses. Nick entered the chat. Hello, everyone. And he answered the question, getting to know so many of you. Didn't know about May of the Moderns, and now I enjoy the sprints and learning about new books at different time periods. Yay! That's great. I was doing some popping off about my read. There's a lot of sad in this book about Not Without Laughter. So, yikes. Nick said, hope you're having a good day, Margaret. Can't at you because I'm on the phone and mobile is poop. And I said, mobile is poop, relatively speaking. Yes, having a good day and looking forward to the summer. Yes. Genesis, think I'm okay. Trying to get back to work. Don't rush it. Take the time you need. And Shannon, check your phone over. One of the phrases they just used in this book is layovers to catch meddlers. And I thought that's funny because it's like translating dated sexual euphemisms and not my specialty. R.C. Scott, hello. Oh, Jenna's deleting 3 scripts I wrote yesterday. Oh, bummer. Ooh. Nick says, I've been playing Pokemon Arceus. I will not lie. My semester ended. I'm letting my brain mush turn into gaming. Your brain turn into gaming mush. Jim said, I read A Tree Grows in Brooklyn and a third of the way through The Master and Margarita, which is his translated novel pick by Bulgakov. I never know how to pronounce the Russian names. I worked with someone who majored in Russian literature in college, and she would say Nabokov instead of Nabokov. And so now I'm unsure which syllable I'm supposed to stress in Bulgakov. If Lana comes on, I haven't heard from Lana much. If Lana comes on, maybe she can school us in how to say these famous last names in Russian. R.C. Scott, redoing an outline, translation, doing it the correct way. Rookie mistakes. Ugh. Well, as Jenna was telling us earlier, outlines need to be flexible. So, each mistake, each correction, it's just making progress. Yes. Is it pronounced Arceus? I don't know. This is the game. The semester has clearly messed up my ability to form coherent sentences. I didn't realize how it sounded until you read it. Hey, we're just here to help. Jenna's answer, a lady nerd is my gamer name or used to be on Twitch somewhere a year or more ago. Right, back when you had time to game, right? That includes history? I'm not sure about that. Boxed Folios, Ali is here. Favorite reads for A Man of the Match, haha. Journey's End by R.F. Sheriff, which is a Persephone book, and Two Sisters by Rabindranath Tagore. Awesome. Yeah, see, I spelled it out in the question so that we wouldn't have any confusion. Fox Folios was letting me know earlier that when you abbreviate it to MOTM, it gets into dicey territory because that has always meant man of the match in Britain. So for the Brits out there who might be confusing you all, Nick says Jenna, yep, or Arceus, depending on the person. Interesting. Inca says, that sounds good. Reminds me of that meme about the poison garden and whether it has a gift shop. I don't think I've seen that meme. I mean, I see a lot of memes, but I don't think this one doesn't ring a bell as a gift shop. I wonder if you know off the top of your head who has credit for it, because often it's like an illustrator or a cartoonist, and I can look it up that way. Foxfolio says, also read an excellent backgrounder book on Journey's End. Oh, nice. Nice. Yes. So tomorrow. It's Saturday today. Tomorrow is Sunday. So the translation themed talk, our last Sunday prompt, there's a couple articles I've looked up. One is on LitHub and one is from The Guardian. Nope, it's a blog post. I read The Guardian one and it wasn't very illuminating. Surprise. Sorry. Not sorry. But I'm getting a little background on how we evaluate translated literature if we don't speak the language. So some interesting stuff coming up tomorrow at 11. Hope you can join me there. Jim says he read Journey's End in school. It was his first encounter with World War I fiction. Nice. Very cool. Yeah. I just read the Persephone newsletter this morning, and there's a lot of interesting stuff in there. I'm wondering if I can, if I write up the mayofthemoderns and send it in, they can like say, this person did this thing and highlighted us because they were a big inspiration for the readathon and they have a lot bigger reach and a lot of like-minded souls, so that would be pretty cool. We'll see if that happens. What else is I going to do during our first break? Oh, okay. So I still have about a little less than 100 pages here, but I think I'm ahead of both of my friend readers. Beth Ann is rereading and Shannon has been doing too much stuff to read yet. But we will be talking about this on Tuesday on my channel. Not Without Laughter, our 3-person buddy read. So that should be fun. I invite you all to join as soon as I get that event set up. So that'll be fun. And I think I'll just get ready. We've got 2 minutes of our extended break left. Foxed Folio says also, next week we'll be seeing Cabaret next week in London based on Isherwood's Berlin stories. My favorite musical of all time. Oh my gosh. Well, I hope this gets you in the mood, darling. That's fun. That's really fun. Inga says, I don't remember, it was a while ago. I've always wanted to visit the Poison Garden, though. It's in the north of England, close to where my grandmother was born. Ooh, I didn't know it was a place. The audiobook I'm listening to mentions the Medicis having poison gardens and rooms and whatever, and that people imitated that, but I don't know, like a specific castle or place that would have had that would have like resurrected it for modern times. If you know where it is, let us know. That's pretty cool. And let me take this down and put our next one up to get ready. Next question is, which readathon do you want to see next? Not one that's in existence already, but like, what is one that you've thought about and been like, I want to do this for a readathon, but no one's doing it? Because, you can do it. You can take the reins in your own hands. This is what I'm demonstrating to people. Hopefully. Oh, it's an Anik. Okay. filled exclusively with around 100 toxic, intoxicating, and narcotic plants. Thank you, Jim. I went to Anak, but I was distracted by a bookstore. Surprise! I missed the poison garden. I can't remember the name of the bookstore anymore. But I think it's in an old, is it in an old train station? No, that's a different place. But it's an old timey feel. And they've got these fun, like round chair sofas and like really cool decor. I think that's it. Everything in there will kill you. All right, that is our cue. Our next sprint is starting, so feel free to answer the question, keep reading, keep answering emails, whatever, and I will see you in 20 minutes. Thank you, JC. Oh, hey everybody, welcome back. Welcome back. My internet was just being really slow, so I was waiting to pause the timer. It went on to the next video, which was Halloween themed, and so I had to like wait for it to go back, and then it was just spinning. So sorry to be out there for a second. Nia entered the chat, and author JC Carpenter, welcome. Yeah, I've repeated everything I just said. Thank you. I was on another tab. What can I say? Mama Maggie had a fall, so her daughter came on to say she's resting. We'll see us all next week. Hope you feel better, Maggie. Your daughter take care of you. Oh, because that's what I'll be doing in June and July. Let me put a fork in it because I think I'm done with that reading again for this sprint. I did some planning. I did some planning for tomorrow, organizing my chat on translated literature. Yeah, so that should be fun. Once again, tomorrow, Sunday, 11 a.m. Pacific, if anyone wants to tune in for the last themed prompt chat for May of the Moderns. And let's see. Yeah, so as people come in, say hello. What did we have happen during that sprint? Anybody read? Anybody get anything done? Anybody tracking anything? Not necessary, but you know, we like to celebrate progress when we see it. I had one thing that I thought would be cool for everybody. I am every day checking to see if anyone tags me in any May of the Moderns posts and adding it to the playlist. So I've got that link if anyone wants to check it out. It's not just my videos, it's everyone's videos that's talking about books that they're reading and reviewing for May of the Moderns. So that is a thing that I am doing every day. So please take advantage of it. Nick made lunch for that sprint to eat, going to head out and have lunch with my fiance. Have a great rest of the sprints, everyone. Hope to see you all tomorrow. Thank you, Nick. Great to see you. Margaret, can't wait to see what reading themes you have for June. Oh, well, I'm not doing reading themes for June. That's my last question, actually, is what is everyone raring to read in June that is not related to May of the Moderns at all? Because now you can break out and, do a mood read or do a diametrically opposed read because, you gotta get out of the box sometimes. Jim read some more of East of Eden. Excellent. JC just came in, so nothing yet except I get my coffee. Slept in really late this morning / afternoon. That's right. Nice. Nicely done. Fox Folios read 30 pages of Little Boy Lost by Margarita Lasky. Excellent. Nice. Brian of Bookish trying to get through A Passage to India, which satisfies 3 of the prompts. It does drag a little in places, but it's so good. And then there's a 1950s film adaptation, which is also really good. I watched it on YouTube, so I know you can too. Nia is getting Loki ready for his class, I guess a behavior class. Interesting. Anyone want to see a readathon? Has this inspired anybody to do postmodern or do maybe jump into something that's already going on in June? I don't know. Either way. But yeah. Yes. Nia's asking, what will be the next themed month? Do you have anything planned for summer or fall? I have a sneaky plan for July, but I have to check with someone before I say anything about it. And of course, then I would be participating in Victober and October. But, regular stuff, Women in Translation in August, the Latinx readathon in September, normal booktube stuff. Jim says June is June on the Range. Michael Kivon is poking us to read Westerns. Yeah, that's true. Not really my bag. I was thinking about this because the last two people that I saw evaluate May of the Moderns books were like, yes, the racism is apparent and you just skip over it and you kind of like take it with a grain of salt because it was just sort of infusing society at this time. It was okay to say these things. They were getting at classism, racism, sexism in different ways. They were at a different point in the revolution, shall we say. But maybe we talk about why do we read those still? Why are they still worth reading? Does it still harm us to read them and like have to go through that to get to like the literature value? Can you separate them? I was thinking about that the other day. It overlaps with a lot of other discussions that I think are more exciting. So I don't think it would be interesting to too many people, but it did set off the lights in my head. So yes, Brian, definitely check out the Passage to India adaptation. It's black and white, so it's old. I loved Loki's last short. Brian says it's good, but like most Forster I've read, the buildup gets close to tedious, but the payoff is great. Yeah. Well, what was I just talking about? Like the unbearable tension when I was talking with Barrett about the octopus, and it was just like, oh my God, I see where you're going with this 20 pages away. Can you just stop repeating the same thing and like ratcheting it up? Tedious is one word for it. Yeah. Victober sounds interesting. I might try June on the Range. Yeah, Victober is really fun. It's Victorian literature in October, in case that wasn't apparent. And Loki is very good, but there are a couple of areas of training we want to focus on. Excellent. Cool. All right, well, let's take that one down and get ready for sprint number 3, which has a new question. What makes a translated book good? And I put this up last time, but I forgot until like halfway through the last sprint, so I didn't get to like set the scene. So tomorrow I'm doing my last themed prompt, Sunday at 11, and I'm going to be talking about translated literature and what I read for this one, as well as why I made it a prompt, and how it interlaces with and dovetails with discussions of other prompts. So there's some really interesting stuff here, including stuff about book prizes and what I found on good articles talking about translated literature. So I don't know, tune in tomorrow at 11 Pacific. But tell me what makes a translated book good. How do you judge a translated book? For example, Jim is reading The Master and Margarita, which is originally a Russian book. So how do we know how much of the goodness of that book is from the Russian original and how much is from the translation? How much of the bad of that book is from the Russian original and how much is from the translation? How can you tell as someone who doesn't speak the original language? It's kind of like, how do you rate your books? How do you judge? It's an interesting question. So I'll leave that up. I will say, Margaret, that I'm one of those people who can separate the art from the artist. I don't have to like the person to be able to appreciate their work. All right, so talking about my spin-off idea about why do we read the old classics? They've got plenty of problematic areas. Jim's talking about Jane Austen July, which is one of the things that I want to be sneaky and do something for, but I want to get permission, Brian says June's Pride Reading Month for me, plus Faulkner in August. That's right, Faulkner in August. And June, I forgot to mention this. So our Patreon book club is doing Creatures of Will and Temper by Molly Tanzer. There we go. Cool cover. And this is a queer retelling of The Picture of Dorian Gray, which I have not read. So I'm excited to read this for Pride Month and making it my book club read because, I don't know, I think that's the prerogative of the book club organizer. What can I say? I popped up an Instagram post about the books that we've read for Patreon book club. I'm trying to do like ones that are not super new so that they're super expensive and inaccessible, but also like of the moment and of the current conversation. not the historic backlist, old stuff. Because book club is great for discussing current themes, and we've had really good discussions. So if you want to join, the Patreon links are down at the bottom of the description. Not only do we have a book club, we have a book mail thing where I mail you postcards, and a support level of all the general things, which is wonderful, and a writing tier, which is empty at the moment, but for like a mastermind once a month brainstorming session. So if any of those appeal, check it out in the description. But yeah, readathons. So let me concentrate on the chat again. Victorian is my jam. Jim says, when a translated book flows and doesn't feel like a translated book, it's a good translation. That's one indicator. Yep. JC says, I have Jane Austen books on my shelf. Emma is actually on my list to read this year. Way to go. Good choice. Emmy says, Lithuanian translations sometimes feel better than the originals. It is very much uses the more beautiful language rather than simple if done well. Interesting. And the target language. Interesting. Jenna says, her answer from an English language learning teacher perspective, I think that's what ELL is, I check for deviation of meaning versus flow readability. Was one sacrificed for another? If so, I like to go into the book aware of that. Interesting. Yeah, if you know both, yeah, that's a good check. One of the articles that I was reading is talking about look to the whole. So it comes down more on the end of flow than meaning, but interesting stuff. Nia says, I will for sure be reading Jane Austen in July, kicking it off mid-June with Sanditon review in mid-June. Oh, nice. So Nia at her channel, Vixen of Fiction, does lots of series dealing with adaptations, or maybe it's one series, but it's more than once a month, I think. Anyway, so our next adaptation is Sanditon, which is one of Jane Austen's unfinished novels, which has been adapted and is currently in season 2 on, if not Netflix, one of the major streaming services, because I definitely saw season 1. It was good. It was interesting. Just Eva stopping by to say hello. Nia says, I keep my Jane Austen on my shelf too. Eva says, I have a fancy, tiny set of Jane Austen's complete works. I have regular copies of some that were required readings in lit courses, and you need to. Yeah, I have an interesting Jane Austen collection because of other things that I've talked about before. Eva says, for her answer, it's the same things that make any book good, my comprehension and enjoyment of it. Right. P.S. Love your hat. Thank you. Thank you. Nia says, I won't get a new set because I can't find another set with her unfinished works. So I have the old Penguin House. Fair. Fair, fair, fair. Nice. All right. So I think 10:15. Well, we'll definitely have time for a third sprint, as usual, and maybe a fourth. Let's see. Let me add the timer to the screen this time. Don't forget, this is Jacqueline Kirk's flower timer, which I love. And let's get it started for our third sprint with that question. Feel free to answer, feel free to read, feel free to chat, whatever you like. And I'll see you in 20 minutes. Pop. Well, there is someone yelling outside. I hope you guys can't hear that. Just yelling in Portland. I can't tell what he's saying. But there we go. I starred the last comment. There it is. My goodness, it's a while back. Okay. So JC said, I need more of Jane Austen on my shelf. I have Persuasion and another one, but I can't remember the name of it right now. That sounds fun. If you guys have not responded, there's third question. I don't know if it'll be the last one. Third question down below, and tell me how you did during that sprint so we can celebrate any progress. And looking at answers, Foxfolio says multiple translations of some work are on an insightful way to assess a work and the role of a translator. Agree, but that means you have to be very intentional. And, just like people who don't have time to reread, sometimes like reading the same book slightly different is just like too painstaking, which fair, different priorities. But yeah, that's a good point. Eva says, the set I have is small, 10 hardback books with Bible paper, tiny print, and gold edges. That sounds delightful, but not easily readable. Yeah, to be honest. Yeah, I have some of those too. I was just talking about that with someone who I think was mentioning Sir Walter Scott's works, and I mentioned the fact that they seem to have been very popular at the time, such that they were mass-produced with Bible paper and gold edges in nice editions, such that nowadays those editions are not expensive. Like, you get them in used bookstores for $5 because no one wants to read tiny print Walter Scott. I can't imagine why. And which also means they're a bit intimidating to dive into because, one, the content, the purple prose, although I don't want to use that term because it's not exactly what it is, the over descriptiveness, let's call it that. Jim is saying love has many different meanings in Greek, making Bible quotes in English problematic. Love thy neighbor, etc. Yep. Nia says time for us to run, but it was a lovely chat between sprints. Thank you, Nia. JC said had a great day. Foxfolio says, I see translations as the result of the dialogue or interplay between the author and the translator, almost like a new work. Perhaps unfair to the author, but meh. Yeah. So I think you will like the discussion tomorrow because one of the blog posts that I read about this had an interesting take on that. Oh, and this is the thing that I did during that last sprint, the third sprint. I did my little random giveaway. So I added a couple people from this sprint, and we had 44. And then I used random.org for the random number generator. And I got number 12, which turned out to be Jenna, the soul writer. So I asked her which one she wanted of the 3 prizes today. And she's down in the comments, so we'll get there in a second. Jim is quoting the first line of L'étranger by Camus. Aujourd'hui, maman est morte, ou peut-être hier, je ne sais pas. How maman is translated affects how we view Marceau. It's definitely true. And I've seen that argued. I think Pei might talk about that one in particular. Candace Yura, starting late on sprints, but full of ambition. Love to see it. Jenna says, what did I miss? I went to get coffee and then, yay, you're the giveaway winner. Cool, huh? Schedules being what they are, may I request the second preferred option, the Persephone book, my shelf and needs it, LOL. Yes, and so then I popped up the link for Persephone's catalog. They've got some collections of like things to help you sort, or you could just look by date. So that's fun. Let me know which one you want, and I will have it sent to you. I think, do I have your address? I can't remember if I have your address, but you can DM me if when you find the title that you want. And then I popped this in case anyone wants some historical fiction from their local shop. If you guys don't know about IndieBound, it's basically a place that sees where you are by zip code or by IP address, and then finds the shops nearest you so that you can order from your local indie bookstore whatever book you're looking for in their catalog. So that's my link for my books on IndieBound. And hopefully you can find them at a store near you to support local small businesses, which is what we're all about. So I thought I'd pop that up there and explain what it is in case people didn't know about IndieBound. Let's see. She knows for which genre I am the sluttiest. I don't know. Persephone is not mythology, so check it out. You can change your mind. But yeah, yay. Jim says a good translation respects and therefore reflects the author's style and vocabulary. Where the author's writing is choppy, the translation should also be. Interesting. That is different from Emmy's comment earlier of liking the beautiful words in the target language sometimes better than the choppy words in Lithuanian. So we have a little difference of opinion. Emmy back to say, I guess we could also do a readathon based on mythology if that hasn't been done yet. I think there is at least one. Lore, I don't remember what it's called or when it is, but I'm sure we could find it. She's off to dinner, so she said ciao ciao. Candace, your said that's a question I've thought about, how to know the translated work is true, not only to the author's words, but also his cadence. Yeah. Yeah, and it gets more interesting when you're translating poetry. So I'm going to shout out my translator friend, JD Estrada, who's just been working on his self-translation of his own poetry, which is like mind-bending. But yeah, it should be interesting to see JD Estrada's 2020 English poems or 2020 Spanish poems, the same ones, but like translated for context as well as cadence. So, I mean, there's like a lot going on, of course. And then I lost my place. There we go. Tomorrow's final themed live chat. I just put the link in there in case you want to mark it for watching together when we're live. Jim said, coincidentally, he's at the part in East of Eden where Lee and Samuel are discussing the translation of a line in the Bible, which is fun. So I said, well played, well timed. Shannon just sat down to start reading for the first time today, and the time was up on that sprint. Sorry. And that annoying, like, little game voice. Sorry. Eva said, I'm working on a round of revisions while here. Got through another chapter. That's sprint. Excellent. Eva said that Jane Austen said, I have one similar for Shakespeare as well. One is maroon and one is green, but I forget which is which. I picked them up at a book sale sometime many moons ago. Yeah. So saying hello in the comments. Shannon said, I'm as good as can be with 1,000 things to do, but making it and looking forward to reading a bit. JC said, got some reorganizing of my desk space to do today. Oh, that sounds fun. She's not exactly looking forward to it, but I wanted to get some reading into. Nice. It's all a balance, right? Ellie at Fox Folio saying the nephew's in the kitchen, so I have to head out and spectate. Yes, supervise. Make sure there's low mischief factor. And Jenna says, thanks for hosting. I have to wet back the carpets. Oh, dear. Take care of you. Check the like button. Thanks for all you do. Thank you, Jenna. Glad you're feeling a little better. Reorganizing things to make my space feel fresh. Yes, good luck on your reading goals. Sweet. All right, let me take this third one down. We've got about 15 minutes left of our allotted time. So did you know I've been keeping track of all the people who come to the reading sprints this month? So unlike Shannon and Jenna, who do this every Friday and Saturday, I normally just have one. I have a first Friday productivity sprint. And so expanding that one to, 8 this month has been a little trying. I'm not used to this. I tried to bring a little flair to be entertaining. So I appreciate everyone who stopped by to watch a little, sprint a little, communicate in the comments, pass on some positivity. And so I just want to shout out all the names that I kept track of and people who I met, over a dozen who I'd never even heard of before. So I loved getting to know you guys a little bit. in no particular order because, I mean, this is how I did it. Growing with Books, Seriela. I'm saying the channel name instead of the person's name so that you can go check them out if you so desire. Just Eva, Ellen Commissar, T.L. Russ Lifestyle, Emmy North, Penumbra Mine M.M. Ward, Reading Around the Books, Paul Marron, I'm just going to say it that way, R.K. Stumbling Bear, Vixen of Fiction, Jenna the Soul Writer, Cyanide, Alley Cat 107, Inca York, A.F. Stewart, Nick C., S.D. Houston, Rosalind Sterling, Mr. Vlandis, Running to Write, Book Terror, Katie Reads and Rants, Crito, who made an appearance in a dream recently, Jim's Books, Reading and Stuff, Hamilton Thompson, Amari, Mr. Roro Suri, Fully Booked, D. Blair Gold, Cool Gamer, Barrett Laurie, Lycan D, Plot Twists with Jessie, Author Lauren Adele, Vixen of Fiction, Book In with Deborah, Jody Jean Daniels, Kristen Writes a Novel, Tina Simeone, Jan's Crazy Life, Alice and the Giant Bookshelf, Bookish, Candice Ure, and Laura Pink. Says 44 lovely people. I just wanted to say thank you for joining for my reading sprints, my extra effort this month during the readathon. May of the Moderns has been scattered but intense and rich and vivid, and the reads have been all over the place. The thing that I have liked most has been the Sunday chats with my BookTube guests on the prompts that they were experts on or had the most dear to their heart this year. So that was super fun. And I'm looking forward to tomorrow's last one, but it'll be just me. And then the wrap-up party on June 1st, and that'll be Wednesday evening for those of us in the US. And then by the time everyone gets their reviews out and they're sort of, checking the boxes of what they read, I think June 15th is when I'll have the time to review all those and then do the last giveaway to celebrate the people who participated. So stay tuned for that. So yeah, final steps for May of the Moderns. Make sure to log your reads on the spreadsheet. So I think I still have it here. Let me pop up that banner. Do I still have it? I don't. Oh my goodness. I just have the Storygraph one. Well, let me go grab it then. So this is where I'm leaving space for people to put their videos where they're talking about their May of the Moderns reads. So if you are interested in being entered to win in the giveaway, you will put a URL of your video in the spreadsheet so that I can check it out and add you to the list. So there we go. That's add to enter giveaways. Get that right? Yeah. All right. So that is the MOTMBR sign up. That's the clearest and most efficient I could get it. So definitely pop your video URL on that spreadsheet so that I know, and then I can do the last two giveaways after Jenna. So yeah, that's the final step. Make sure to tag me and then tune in on June 1st for our wrap party because you can walk on if you want. This is one of those rotating door. I'd love to have you on to chat about what you read, do a little cameo, get a little exposure, talk to your peeps, see you in person. And yeah, it should be fun. All right, so we're wrapping up today a few minutes early. JC says, how long does it take you to put together something like this, Margaret? Well, I started in January and, it's a few concentrated sessions. So I am not counting the hours, but definitely lots of emails, lots of Instagram, lots of Twitter, lots of Canva, lots of Storygraph. So basically just using a lot of platforms, whatever knowledge I have on them, trying to brainstorm ways to reach more people, to get more people involved, to make it more accessible to audiences, and making it fun, making it interactive. So yeah, I will try to improve each year. I've got a poll up on Patreon that's public. So if you want to weigh in, whether you like the Storygraph thing or the bingo card thing, I'd appreciate your vote either way on the Patreon thing. That's on my Twitter. But yeah, just want to improve and expand my reach and connect more people, have more fun, right? Right? So yeah, it did take a lot of time. There's the link. Wear it out. And I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining this final reading sprint for May of the Moderns. Feel free to dress up for the June 1st wrap party if you want to come on. Like I said, I'm giving Flapper Walk of Shame vibes, even though I had to do my hair and do some makeup in the morning for this because I'm here for you. But I will wipe all this off and start over with my Saturday, my regular Saturday vibes. And I hope you have fun the rest of the day. I hope you have a great Memorial Day weekend. I hope you enjoy some fireworks, perhaps. That's what I was up to last night. And I will see you tomorrow or Tuesday for the buddy read discussion or Wednesday for the wrap party or sometime in the future. I appreciate you being here. So happy reading, happy sprinting, and happy weekend. Bye, everybody.